Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Arayeh with another episode of The Art of Living in Joy. And I have a beautiful guest from Los Angeles, Hadizadeh, my dear, dear friend. And I'm so excited to talk about human design and how to design our life in a more conscious way. And I'm going to pass the mic to Katie June. Introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we can jump into the topic.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, Dr. Araya, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you and share this space. Seeing your book in the background brings me a lot of joy personally because I love the title of your book, The Art of Living in Joy. That's something that a lot of people disregard in this lifetime. So, about me, I come from a background in tech leadership. I have been with corporate America World Fortune 100 and 500 companies leading the global teams for 15 years. And about 6 years ago, I started my own company that focuses on executive coaching, leadership development, and mindfulness programs. And we work a lot with leaders in tech, product, engineering space.
Beautiful. What a great, great mission you have. I feel the corporate world really needs more consciousness because it's such a
Mhm.
masculine energy. It's like do, hustle, hustle, hustle. And we
Mhm.
really need to bring and incorporate that feminine energy, which is about just be. Let's have coffee. Let's talk. Let's be mindful kind of thing. So I like you to talk about a little bit, and if you can interweave it to our topic
Mhm.
about how do you bring this really completely different energy to this masculine world?
That's a very good question. Actually, I was in a podcast interview yesterday, and the lady asked me, did you end up from engineering in this field? Nobody, no, normally people in engineering do not think about these things. I would be happy to share that uh, the world is undergoing some change, considerable change, at least from the time that even I joined the corporate world, which is the world is realizing the energy of wanting to do more and do more and do more is not landing well to the humanness of us humans. And that's something that we are seeing some rebellion in later generations, the Gen Zs of the world, that they are not working the same way as the Gen Xs were working. We are seeing the difference because they are looking at life differently. They are looking at what they expect from life differently. So first of all, the environment is changing, the capacity for the environment is changing, but at the same time, folks are realizing whatever worked 20, 30, 40 years ago is not working anymore. So how can we be with this equation in corporate America differently? And especially with the advent of AI and a lot of emphasis that is going into the automation, the subject of taking care of our talent, taking care of our humans is getting more and more traction.
Hmm. Beautiful. Such a important topic, and we are seeing that when employees are not having that life satisfaction, that job satisfaction, the efficiency, the productivity will drop. Right? They get
Yeah.
sicker and they're not happy. Right? So they see the benefit of bringing mindfulness and these
Mm.
well-being tools to the corporate world. And I think there's something else also. It's just, and we talked about it in the Farsi version about this, where people kind of, we, like I myself, and I'm sure you too, we kind of ended up in where we were. For example, I was in love in astronomy when I was in Iran. Love it, in love with it, and I couldn't do it there. And when I went to Canada, I had the chance to go to astronomy, but what
Mm.
happened was the dot-com wave. They said, oh no, computer, if you go to computer, you're going to get a lot. So I was again coerced So before I was coerced by my culture, by my family. Oh, you either have to be a doctor or an engineer. But then when I ended up in Canada, I was coerced with the economic situation. So again, I chose computer science and computer engineering. I didn't go for my passion.
Yeah.
So there is a time in our life, and I just mentioned the other video, where there's like around 37 to 42, 3, it's the time that we pause and we ask ourselves, right, is this really what I want to do? Like we work most time of our life, right? 8, 9 hours
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
So is it something that is bringing me joy? So leading by design, the topic is, what are other factors besides this, that how can we design our life, besides finding what we're good at, what brings us joy?
Hmm. Well, thank you for that question. Such a good question, in a fact that we all, especially people who are high achievers, they are very good at getting things done, and that's what will take them to the next levels and the next levels, and they end up having higher levels of responsibility and leadership. But what does not come with that higher levels of responsibility and leadership is a check-in with manual for them. So they get this, but they, with the responsibility, they might not have enough time for their family. They might not have enough time for themselves. They might go to the gym and think that, oh, okay, I went to the gym. This should be good, but that's not enough.
Mhm.
We need to be able to see what balances us. Balance is a very important thing. Yes, going to the gym is super important, but the balance is the more important thing. So they lose that balance, and losing that balance brings dissatisfaction. Even if we do not express it, or even if we are very, very enjoying the work that we are doing, if we come home and our wife and our kids are not happy with us,
Mhm.
that will haunt us. That will give us that sense of regret. So, one important aspect is that, how do I check in with myself? Because in the business of life, I don't think anybody will put in their calendar, January 26th is the day that I'm going to check in with myself. I'm going to block out my calendar and I'm going to sit and ask myself all these questions. Normally, people don't do that. So, and normally people who are high achievers and in the corporate world, they do not know about the vision board. They do not know about designing a vision, or they do not think it is really for them, because they're like, okay, I'm having this 9 to 5 job, that, or a lot of the 9 to 5 jobs require more than the 9 to 5. I'm working 60 hours a week. What can I design possibly? You still have control. So there's a difference between thinking that I don't have a choice and feeling that I have a choice. I give you an example. I have a client who is an amazing person, who is a one of the, I think, few people I have met in my life that has been involved in the launch of shuttles, 4 or 5 shuttles to the
Wow.
space. So
Yeah.
he's a very remarkable man. And I love being on this journey with him, as he's checking in with himself, as how would he go about this journey further, or does he stop because he feels like maybe sometimes he doesn't have enough bandwidth for other obligations in life. So we're exploring that topic of balance.
Beautiful.
But we are exploring it because we are actively in an engagement, that he comes to a dedicated space, that we spend time on it, we have a direction for it. That's what I mean by the design, that you need to connect with whatever it is that matters to you, and go back to the drawing board and see, what choices do I have?
Beautiful. Love it. The key word is choice, right? So
Absolutely.
I think I believe the main difference between us and other sentient beings is that word. Like a cat is a cat is a cat is a cat, cannot, doesn't have any other choice. But
Mm,
we have the choice, and we have the freedom, and we have to create that freedom for ourselves. And
mm,
that, as
mm,
you mentioned, is just a matter of allowing it. just wanting it. Like the first step is the intention. Like this beautiful client of yours, like had the audacity, had the courage to say, I'm going to stop this. I know that I've done so much, but it's not still bringing me that self-fulfillment, and I'm still severed from my own essence, and it doesn't feel right. Like me, when I turned 40, I'm like, I don't want to do this until I die. I don't want to do programming. It doesn't seem right. So it made me pause. Now, at the beginning, you mentioned something, and it just brought this expression people say, like, we are human beings, right? We are not human doings, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, we just do, as you said, do
Mhm.
more, be more, have more. It's all about more, 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 and we really lose sight of who we truly are because we are so extracted from ourselves. We just focus on the outside, we focus on the degrees, we focus on the money, we focus on the corporate ladder, and we lose ourselves. And that's one thing that we really need to, as you said, to invest. Like maybe we don't put it in one day, but literally put a reminder on our phone, like 2-3 times a day. Just pause and check in with ourselves. How do I feel? Where am I from 0 to 10? 10 being the most graceful, the most grateful. Where am I? Really have, like, gauge ourselves, because we do deserve to be at a 10 in joy and peace and love. But unfortunately, we are not. So we have to just, as you said, have that intention and the courage to pause and ask good questions. We talked about it in the previous video.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit more about like that, the drawing board. That's very intriguing. Tell us about
Okay, good one. But before I talk about the drawing board, there is something that you said that I want to draw everybody's attention to, which is that 1 minute. Um, Maybe I have worked with 1,500 people in this journey thus far, and I have done, I have given the homework of, can you be with yourself for 1 minute?
that.
And I can tell you, 95% of the time, people come back and say, I didn't know that 1 minute is this long.
I know. Yeah.
Right? And that is a really big awakening that being with by yourself for 1 minute can be that long. But when you're looking at your phone, God, Instagram scrolling, you can be on there for an hour and you don't even notice. It feels like nothing, right?
Yeah.
So pay attention to that fact. Pay attention to the fact that it is, where are you in your capacity to take that 1 minute with
Yes.
you? So that's a really quick key thing. And if you feel like, oh my God, this 1 minute that these ladies are talking about feels like impossible, you need to do something about
Exactly. There's an alarm. There's an alarm. Yeah. The
that.
topic of my PhD dissertation was 1 minute mindful breathing actually increased well-being, increased
Mm,
recovery from stress, increased present moment attention. Just 1 minute. I just
mm.
that 1 minute, even like two rounds of breath. But we don't do that. We're so on the outside that we don't even pause to do that.
We don't. We don't. I can tell you, like, I give this as a homework, and people come back and say, I didn't do it. And I'm like, you really didn't even have 1 minute?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously? I mean, we're talking about a minute. But going back to your question about the drawing, it is a matter of really connecting with what is it that we want to feel first before we go to any kind of vision board or dream plan do or dream design do or anything like that. It's a matter of designing what is it, connecting with that essence of how do I want to experience life, maybe in this year, maybe in the next 5 years. Like, I know one thing for myself. I give you an example. Like, one of the things for me was, how can I spend more time with my kids?
Exactly.
How can I spend my holidays with my kids rather than scrambling what's going to happen to them while I'm working?
Yeah.
That was a very big design point for me. So it is from what you want to feel in your experience in your life or in your leadership that you go back and decide, okay, now how do I need to build this system?
Around it. Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
very engineering
Yeah.
oriented.
So
in
much,
a
so much.
way.
I love it. And I wanted to mention this, and I think our time is coming to an end, but you mentioned the word balance, but I also want to throw the word priority, and you just mentioned that. So it's really about priorities. So it's just, okay, what's my priority? Is it my family? Is it my, so I have to kind of juggle, as you said, engineer somehow that I invest more time at work. And I know it's more money, but what is the more money going to do when it's going to bring more disease in me because I'm more in stress, under stress, and I'm not being my best version for my family or any for myself, even people who don't have families. So for ourselves to have that more joy. So it's all about priority. That is very important. How many minutes do we have, Khadija?
We are done. It's
We're done.
exactly
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Let's
All
say
right.
bye
Thank
to
you
our
so
audience.
much. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
accepting my invitation. Love you
Okay. Thank you
and
for
love you
having
all. Thank you. See you next week. Bye, guys.